All right, YouTube, 106 Falconer back with another freaking exciting video. I'm closing the book on another week of metal detecting. And once again, I'm having problems with my Legend. And it's a charging problem this time. You can see she's charging there. I think you can. Let's see. Today's Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025. Last Tuesday, I went out for about 3.5 hours out back. Found some pretty cool stuff, which I'll show you here, and I'll carry on with this. I found, I didn't find much, but it was pretty cool. I found this old file. Well, I found an old file underneath some roots. I'll take it home and do electrolysis on it, see what it looks like. Thick old metal file. I don't know if you're familiar with metal files, but man, this thing's like a 1/4 inch thick. And when I got it out of the ground, it was just totally encrusted with rust. Turns out somebody had turned this into a chisel. And even though it looks like the teeth of a crackhead there, the thing's actually pretty sharp. But unfortunately, it's just too far gone. I was hoping to get a maker's mark off there. I did electrolysis on this for 35 hours. And I mean, it is just roached big time. But this is an old chisel, heavy. I don't know if you know anything about metal files, or yeah, old file, whatever. But have a metal file this thick is, I have metal files from my grandfather, and they're half this thickness. So this is old, beefy, but roached file that was turned into a chisel. And back there where I was at, there's a lot of old history back there. Then I found me this silver-plated spoon. All right, so I got a 24-25 signal right here. If there's no poison ivy in there, I'm gonna try to dig it up. I'll be back. Well, it was an old silver-plated spoon. I can make out silver plate on there, but I can't make out the actual name, so I'll check that out when I get home. There's still a 33 totally non-ferrous right here. Well, now it's kind of all over the place. But I'm going to get that when I get my shovel, because that's really easy digging right there. It's Marion silver plate. See if I can get that to focus in on there. Best I can tell, this is like, let's see, can I zoom in on that? Yeah, Marion silver plate. This is like late 1800s up to like 1920s, something like that. So really don't know, you know, whatever. It's still pretty cool. Found 2 lead bale seals. One here from somewhere in New York. I can't tell. And then I found this lead bale seal from Mexico. It says 188 or something like that on the back. Pretty cool. I found this little shovel spoon thingy. Now, I don't think this is very old. It's got some Oriental characters. Let me set that down. Let's see, where are we at here? Oh, all right. Has some Oriental characters in the middle there. So I don't know if that's like something like a Coke spoon or something from one of them Zen bonsai garden type things, you know, where you get a little rake and you know, this and that. So, but nonetheless, pretty cool. Found a bullet, and found a couple pennies at the penny bridge. All right, well, that was got me a penny at the penny bridge, Memorial Copper. What are the odds of that? And that was it for 3.5 hours. There was a lot of signals I could not reach. because the ground was too hard, so I had to go back with my shovel because I only had my digging knife with me. So that was Tuesday, 3.5 hours. The battery was down to 1 bar when I got home. So I put it on the charger, took charge cable, plugged it in, tried it out back here in my USB plugging out back. Let it go for like 6 hours. When I unplugged it, it was the same thing, just 1 bar. Then I used my jump pack. I tried my jump pack, put it in there, and all these things charge all my other stuff. So I let that run for a while, no change. Took it inside, plugged it in the kitchen, no change. Plugged it into my room. The next day I got up, it was still at 1 bar, even though the indicator showed it was charging. So then Wednesday, I went to go detect, and I had to use my external battery because the main battery was not charged. All right, so it's the next day. I brought my shovel. I'm going to try to dig up some of these targets that I couldn't get yesterday with just a digging knife. This one's still doing a pretty solid 26. 25, 26. It's probably going to be scrap, but I'm going to dig it up anyways because I found some really cool stuff yesterday. But now I have another problem going on with my Legend. I don't know if you can see this. My battery's not charging. Oh, we're finally... I had this, by the time I got done yesterday, I detected 3.5 hours. And I had 1 bar left on the detector. Killed the battery in my mic, this Hollyland mic. For some reason, that mic is no longer working. But anyways, so I plugged this in when I got home to charge it. It charged from about 11 o'clock until this morning. So I detected for a couple hours Tuesday, and let's see what I find here. Oh, all right, I went out back again. Let's see, not that dirt. I found me a bunch of pennies, or a really crusty zinc. Found me 3 dimes, pencil eraser, and this 1973 New Zealand 2-cent piece. All right, so I think I got a dime. It's just a solid 46. Let me get it, I'll be right back. Nope, that's a coin from New Zealand, 1973. It's got what appears to be a couple bugs on the back of it. Look like cockroaches, and it has a 2, so pretty cool. When I first looked at that thing, I thought them things on the back were like cockroaches or some kind of alien bugs like kneeling and praying, but apparently there's some sort of flower or bud or something. So anyways, pretty cool, but not a whole lot for the time I spent. Then, and I was using the external battery. So when I got home, it was like at 3 bars when I took the battery off. So I plugged it into the regular charging cable, and then I got a full charge. The detector fully charged. I wasn't able to get out Friday. I had things to do. Then Saturday, I went out, and let's see here. Where am I? Oh, right here. Saturday, I went to the village park. I hit the pavilion that's closest to the restrooms, to the creek, to all the activities, this and that. Now, I've been over there. I haven't been really finding anything but pennies. So around that pavilion, I found 8 quarters. All right, well, I may have myself a quarter right here. All right, yay, 2008 Oklahoma State quarter. All right, I think I got my second quarter here. All right, a 2000 South Carolina State quarter. 11 dimes, bunch of pennies, and a nice weedy right there. Found a key. which is pretty cool. Now all the quarters and the dimes were down like 3-4 inches. The pennies, most of them except for the wheat, were just like surface level fines, you know, just below the grass. So then I decided to go back there. Let's see, that was Saturday. No, that was Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, this was Thursday. I did that. Wasn't able to detect Friday. Saturday I went back there and I thought, because there's just so much trash in the ground out there. So I put the LG 15 coil on, because I was like, you know, I'm gonna spend some time just digging up all the signals, like from 11 to 37, see if that's masking anything deeper, because it's just like brr, brr, machine gun. So then I spent an hour and a half doing an area about 10 foot long, 4 foot wide, basically the one stroke of the detector. All right, so I've gone from basically the corner of the pavilion to here. That's about, I don't know, 9 or 10 feet, just one swing width worth, for an hour and a half. And I've been digging up beaver tail after beaver tail after beaver tail, and bread wrapper, beaver tail, bread wrapper. Only 2 pull tabs, and some nails and whatnot, a few zincs, and that's about it. So I'm bored with this. Dug up a ton of freaking beaver tails, you know, pull rings. Got 2 pull tabs, bunch of bread wrap, you know, the metal bread wrapper tie thingies, but really didn't find anything. Once I dug all that stuff out, I found some pennies. So then I went to another part of the park. And so here's our tennis courts. I see the weeds have died down a little bit. They were, I don't know, some were as tall as the net there a couple, 3 weeks ago. Look at this. This freaking thing. But back in the day, there was only one court, and there were kids lined up to use it. This thing, 2 courts, and nobody uses it. Yep, that's today. So anyways, what I'm gonna do since I'm over here is I'm going to just go real quick in front of these benches. Then I'm gonna finish doing around that 1.5 basketball court there. I did half of it. I'm gonna do the other half real quick. Well, I found me a 2000 dime. That bottle cap over there that I dug for about 10 minutes trying to find. Yay, I found a 1994 dime. Dime roll. It got me a 66 dime now. And I ended up finding 4 dimes, a bunch more pennies. No, wait, this is it right here. 4 dimes, bunch more. That was, this was Wednesday. This was the park Saturday. Yep, that's what it was. So, ended up finding 4 dimes, a bunch more pennies, in other places, down by the old rec center and whatnot. But I was not able to unmask any coins in that like 10 by 4 foot area, just digging up beaver tail after beaver tail. Then Sunday, I went down to a factory right in downtown. It's been there since 1805. Did around the office building, which is actually an old house that's been there. I didn't even know the date that house was there. I spent about an hour there, and all I found was a penny. I'm doing a quick hunt today around probably just the front of this office building here. It's an old factory, been around since, well, it started out as a sawmill, 1805, and so I got permission to dig around here, so I'm just gonna do the front over here today. I got other things to do. So, all right, so I got I don't know, kind of all over the place. And that was a 73 penny. All right, so I got a Screamin' 4142. No doubt it's going to be more flashing, but I'll give it a try. And it's a weed vape. And then dug up a bunch of aluminum, you know, flashing, this, that, found a weed vape. Then I went across the street to where Little Santa House is. All right, well, that first place I went to is pretty much a bust. I mean, I hit it for about an hour and I was just digging up. Got a penny and a bunch of aluminum and nails and crap. So I'm gonna do around Santa's house here real quick. All right, I got me a 49. Let's check it out. Might as well bring you with. It's right near the surface, so let's see if it's anything to write home about, or if it's more junk. Rot there. So I got my sensitivity 28 M1. Turned my recovery back up to 9. That doesn't feel like anything. Where are you at? Oh, it's a stinking rabies. 2015 rabies. Did that for about an hour. Found a 2015 rabies tag. Got me a nickel, a couple more pennies. That was really it. Then Monday, yesterday, Labor Day, I went to the park in downtown. I'm closing out the week, metal detecting. I got about, 10, 11 hours in this week. Nothing really to write home about. My first day, I did find some relics, which are pretty cool, but I'm having another issue with me Legend here first. You can see the battery charge in here. 1 bar. I've had this on the charger since yesterday at about 10 o'clock. It's, 6:45 Monday morning. Happy Labor Day, everybody. So I'm gonna have to rock my my spare battery. This started Tuesday. I went out for 3.5 hours. Battery got drained down to 1 bar. I charged it for over 24 hours and I only got up to 2 bars. This time it was at 2 bars when I put it on the charger and I'm down to 1 bar, and that's, like I say, it's been charging almost 24 hours. So Tuesday, or then Wednesday when I went to use it, I had to run the spare battery, and that got the charge up a little bit. Then when I plugged it back into the charge cable when I got home, I got a full charge. So not sure what's going on. But anyways, so I'm at a little park here, downtown. They have a farmer's market here every Saturday. And by that I mean there's like 1 table. So, but they do music for the old people on Thursday nights and whatnot. So I'm gonna see if I can at least find some coins. I'm not gonna dig deep. Ground's still hard as hell, and farmer market runs till I think the 1st of October, so I don't want people complaining about plugs in the ground. So just gotta look for close targets. Running park mode, ground, M1. Let's see, sensitivity 28, recovery 9, the LG 24 coil. So let me get the spare battery on, and all right, I gotta, still kind of deep, but I'm gonna try. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pass on that. Ground's too hard. Well, I found me a 1983 penny. Well, I think I might have me a quarter here. Yay, a bicentennial quarter. All right, so I got a 50, 51, and it don't look that deep, so, well, you might as well stay here. We'll get it. It's probably gonna be something to do with that electrical box that I'm right next to, though. All right, right there. Let's see here. Oh, nice. It is a quarter. Holy crap. And alive. That's, oh, it's a Stady. Vermont. Nice. All right, I got me a pretty loud 45, jumped up to 53. Let's see what that be. All right. Let's take a look-see. Hopefully it's something good. By the telephone pole here. And it's going to be a copper penny. Hopefully it's a weedy. With numbers like that, it should be. Let's see here. I gotta start remembering to bring my pencil eraser with, because that really, yeah, it is a wheat. I figured hopping up into the 50s. All right, so I'm back to the vehicle. You should be able to see it's still charging, so I'm gonna shut it down, take the battery off, fire it back up. I'll be back in a minute. Well, you know what? I might as well do the whole thing. I mean, I already shut it off, but let's get this battery disconnected. All right. Now I'm gonna fire it back up. Let's see here. Nope, still 1 bar. Can you see that? Son of a bitch. I guess you want to call it, I don't know, Village Square, whatever. Little bitty place where they have farmers market, used to have car shows there, this, that, blah, blah, blah. I got me a couple quarters, a couple dimes, a bunch of pennies. Got me another wheat. Let's see, where's that wheat at? Yeah, I got me another wheat out of there. But now there in that little park, there was a bunch of deep signals that were ringing up like quarter signals and whatnot. But they were too deep to dig because the ground's so hard that, you know, hard and dry, and I didn't want to be digging big holes there because the farmer's market goes to like the 1st of October. So I have people bitching, so, but I'm going to go back there once the ground softens and this and that and see what else I can find. Anyways, so Friday I did swing the detector a little bit. I found a dart in my yard, old dart, but that was just for a few minutes because I was bored. So anyways, here we go, back to the detector. So as you can see, she's charging from the external battery. So let me unplug this. And we'll, I did a little bit ago, it was at 3 bars. So, yep. Yep, still at 3 bars. So it's, I don't know what's going on with it now, but it's really ticking me off. And I have only been using M frequencies. I've been using M1 and M2, and that's it. Been using the LG24 and the LG15 coil, but haven't been using any of the single frequencies, this, that, you know, just trying things out. So I don't know what the deal is with that. I'm gonna have to get a hold of them again, I guess, because it's really starting to frustrate me. I know the problem I was having with 4 kilohertz was, you know, that was, apparently you can't run that with small coils. But now this charging issue is something new that just started last Tuesday. So So I'm going to have to find out about that. But anyways, so that was my week of detecting. Not a whole lot, nothing to write home about other than frustration. So I'm going to hopefully get this figured out and start getting some more videos out. So, all right, well, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. See ya.